year ahead in digital, one of the things I see for sure is brands working more closely with startups. I think we're seeing a lot of brands looking to anticipate disruption and looking for new sources of innovation.
With real-time marketing, I think client relationships are incredibly important because obviously you need to be able to produce things really quickly.
So agencies have been restructuring themselves for a while, and we now have things like agile working processes, etc. And clients are going to need to think about doing the same thing if they really want to take advantage of what agencies have to offer and what the public are expecting.
We might see large corporates try and bring a bit of digital media production in-house, try to cut out the agency model a little bit. Not in a sort of sinister way per se, but just purely to try and be a bit more agile and responsive to their own needs and requirements.
The things that most excite me, I think social media and broadcast still has a long way to go. Certainly with Facebook unveiling their 2 new search tools, which basically give you access to the entire universe of Facebook data out there.
The combination of baked together data and video and a visualisation of that you can choose to see in very simple form on the screen, I think is something that will at some point very soon become the norm in the industry.
In the year ahead, I'd quite like to see content that you can interact with, so not just having it poured into your eyeballs. I think it's nice if you can customise and make something your own.
I think over the coming few months we're also going to notice a convergence in channels and pulling different APIs from different sources to be able to tell a story more holistically. Everything from finance to social to the weather, and pulling all those things together to create increasingly more dynamic ads that brands can use to sort of tell more targeted and personal stories.
Technology companies will bridge the gap of advertising and bring us things when we genuinely need them, as opposed to sort of carpet bombing with messages. There'll be selected messages at the right moment for each individual to pick out.
I think it's been known in the industry that content is king, but in 2014 distribution is really going to be queen. It's important to get relevant content to audiences, but it's important to get it to them at the right time and to the right people.
Digital has really invigorated what was a traditional medium in outdoor. The digital element of out of home is now over 20% in terms of spend. So we have a highly creative canvas, but it's also part of the media market. If we look ahead, the challenge and the innovation and the interesting things that are going to happen are around how these digital sites in out-of-home environments are integrated with other digital channels in terms of social and mobile and transactional technologies.
All of the technology that we're seeing, obviously some of the Android phones have NFC technology, the new iPhones have Bluetooth Lite, which all of them enable this kind of sort of low-level persistent ability to sync with sort of near-field objects. So that you can use them to do all sorts of things like iBeacon for Apple, which allows sort of interaction with you in a retail space, for example, whether it's payment. And I think that shift towards the device being a sort of an enabler of an experience and the seamlessness of that really changes things.
One of the really interesting things is apps that basically run in your pocket. You don't have to take them out to start them. They automatically detect what you're doing. So that's based on technology like the new Motion coprocessor that Apple just introduced.
Of course, this does raise concerns around privacy, and that can go 2 ways. Often people are very forgiving of this, depending on what information they're getting back. But choosing what they want to share, people are becoming increasingly aware of that.
I think the age of putting yourself on a pedestal, on a plate for everyone else to see, I think that's slowly dying out slightly. And I think over the next 12 months, the personal one-to-one relationship is going to be something that's really important. And I think us in Media Land are going to really realise the potential and the strength of just looking one consumer in the eyes and going, this is about you and I.